Meat structure, composition, and classification. Meat is the flesh or other edible parts of animals, usually domesticated cattle, swine, and sheep, that is used for foods, including not only the muscle and fat, but also the tendons and ligaments. Meat structure. Meat mainly consists of 5 main things: muscle tissue, connective tissue, fatty tissue, bone, blood vessels, and nerve tissue. Muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is a specialized tissue found in animals which applies forces to different parts of the body by contraction. It consists of fibers of muscle cells connected together in sheaths and fibers. So muscle tissue is composed of muscle fibers. These are made up of cells which contains protein called actin and myosin. Next is connective tissue. Connective tissue is made up of cells, fibers, and a gel-like substance. It is a group of tissues in the body that maintain the form of the body and its organs and provide cohesion and internal support. Next is fatty tissue. It is a kind of body tissue containing stored fat that serve as a source of energy. Fatty tissue is important in an animal body for storing reserve food in the form of lipids. It also helps them to get protected from severe cold. Next is bone. Bone is any hard pieces that forms the skeleton or frame of a human or animal body. Bone are mainly composed of bone tissues. Next is blood vessel and nerve tissue. Blood vessels circulate blood throughout your body. They help deliver oxygen to the vital organs and tissues, and also remove waste products. While nervous tissue is found in the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. It is responsible for coordinating and controlling many body activities. Meat composition. Meat is composed of protein, fat, carbohydrate, water, vitamin, minerals, and pigments. Protein. Meat is an excellent source of protein. It is nutritional sources for humans. The average value of meat protein is about 22%, but it could range from high protein value of 34.5% in chicken breast to as low as 12.3% protein in duck meat. Next is fat. Meat fat content varies from 5 to 40%. Depends on what meat or part it is. Example is lean meat. Lean meat is generally about 5 to 10% of fat. Next is carbohydrate. Meat contains glycogen and glucose. Glucose is the main source of fuel for the cells or a bloodstreams that the body uses for energy. When the body doesn't need to use the glucose for energy, it stores it in the liver and muscle. This stored form of glucose is made up of mainly connected glucose molecules is called glycogen. Next is water. Meat is composed of 70 to 75% of water. Next is vitamin. Meat contains of vitamin A, or also known as retinol. Liver is a part of meat which is highest in vitamin A, especially the beef liver. Meat is also contains vitamin D, also known as calciferol. Salmon is one example of food that is rich in vitamin D. It also contains vitamin E. Abalone and goose meat is one of example of meat that is high in vitamin E. It also contains vitamin K. Common sources of meat that is rich in vitamin K is the liver. Next is minerals. Meat is a good source of phosphorus, iron, and copper. Phosphorus that will help the growth, maintenance, and repair of all tissues and cells. It also helps to balance and use other vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, iodine, magnesium, and zinc. Next is iron. Iron that used as a fuel in red blood cells that carries oxygen from your lungs to the all parts of the body. Then meat is also a good source of copper. Copper that helps your body make red blood cells and keep nerve cells and your immune system healthy. And the last one is pigments. Meat is contains of myoglobin and hemoglobin. Myoglobin that is responsible for the fresh meat color and it stores oxygen in muscle cells. And hemoglobin that stores oxygen in blood cells. Meat classification. There are 4 types of meat. First is organ, beef, pork, and mutton. Organ meats, are also known as offal, are the consumable organs of animals. Organ meats includes liver, hearts, brains, and intestine to name a few. Next is beef. Beef is a meat from a full-grown cattle about 2 years old. It is categorized as red meat, a term used for the meat of mammals, which contains higher amount of iron than the chicken or fish. It is usually eaten as roast, ribs, or steaks. Next is pork. Pork is a meat that comes from a pig. It is the world's most popular type of meat. It is a rich source of high-quality protein as well as various vitamins and minerals. Next is mutton. It is a meat from a fully grown sheep. Meat from a sheep between the ages of 1 month to 1 year is served as lamb, while sheep older than 1 year is served as mutton. Mutton is a meat of a mature adult sheep, typically between 2 to 3 years old.